Namaste, great morning. Hi, everyone. Hope everyone's day is going well. Anyway, this morning I decided to pull out Oracle card from my new deck. I just got one new thing in. And what came out was compassion. Okay. The port wine magnolia, compassion. Then I decided to pull one from my other deck. Decided we'll do a little reading, and again we got compassion. Okay, so it must be the word of the day today, definitely compassion. So let's look at what else we have from the cards this morning on that subject. Okay, on the one hand you have sorrow. Okay, now everyone along their journey sometimes falls into sorrow, and some people will fall into sorrow for quite some time, and they will have the royal pity party, beating that drum for all it's worth, and for a time you may get a lot of attention in that, but be careful not to make it your identity. Okay, be willing to move and transition out of it rather than keeping yourself surrounded in this morose, woe is me, poor me, nobody understands, and all the drama that goes with it, and make a big soap opera around it and make it your identification, okay? Because it's not going to serve one well in the long run, okay? So we start in the place of sorrow, the pity party, the poor me saga, from whatever it is that happens, and as one goes on the journey, if one goes really, really, really deep within, we see that these dramas and traumas and things we take in have happened to the form, something that's affected the form usually. And, or hurt our sentiments and things like that. Anyway, we take these things on, okay? But nothing can truly, truly, truly touch spirit, what we are at the very center of being. So, again, these things have been gathered and collected, and we keep fueling them and giving them life by the attention that we put on it, which gives it, again, emotion, which makes it appear to be solid and real. Okay, and keeps us in this bondage. Okay, so first of all, we have to develop the courage, plant the seed, and understand it's not going to happen miraculously overnight. One has to push through these hard places in order to proceed, to progress. Above. If you want transformation, it can happen. It can take place absolutely 100%. And most of us that are on a spiritual path begin in sorrow. We hit a low point. Sometimes that's a blessing. And also I was going to say that with compassion, sometimes it's compassionate to let somebody fall and fall hard, because when they hit rock bottom, then usually that may be the time that they're finally ready to say, God help me, that they're finally ready to begin an upward journey. But if we keep abetting them, if we keep, and think it's compassionate to enable them to stay in that moroseness, so, I understand you, poor thing, it's so, that just fuels it and keeps them stuck there in that, so they don't begin to look upwards to make the journey out of it. Okay, so sometimes that's not compassion. We think it's compassion, but it's not. It's enabling to keep them stuck. Okay, so when they are ready, one has the compassion to give what can move them forward, to aid in their transformation. Okay, and the way out is to be able to see through. Okay, we come to our other card, The foundation is being able to see through the shadow self, the illusion of the shadow self, to that which is that God essence that's ever present. Okay, so how do we do that? How do we go from this morose state of woe is me, poor me, the bandwagon, the drama, trauma stories that fuels one existence for years and years and years, okay? We have to finally stop and recognize this is not aiding me at all. Okay, this is not helping at all. Okay, where did this come from? Now, if it's a psychological thing that one has adopted from childhood, maybe we had parents that weren't so fabulous. They didn't know what they were doing. They put a lot of trauma out there, which we adopted to believe. Look at it and see if in fact it's true or not. You'll find out, no, it's not true. It was their belief system. It was their inadequacy. It was their fallacy. It was their illusion. It was their drama. So if you look and you really see that it was somebody else's drama, why are you taking it on? Why do you want to pick it up as a belief, as a reality, as a, So if you can see, if you really sit and you look at where this stems from, and you see that it was something that was put on way back when, okay, and you can see the fallacy of it, you can break that illusion. Have compassion that they were doing what they did, and they were ill, in their own illusions, in their own drama, in their own ignorance. But you have a chance to get out of it. And this works for all trauma, whether it's a trauma of being repressed or being going through a physical trauma. If it's physical trauma, same thing. You look, and if you look deeply, you can see that the ones that are perpetrating those traumas that you adopt in your life as reality, you will see that that person that is perpetrating that lives in a hell realm of mind. Otherwise, how could they do this to another person? Okay? If you have somebody that is perpetrating these hatreds, viciousness, they are living in an absolute hell realm of a sewage pit in their mind. So have compassion for that and say, you know what? You have to have compassion and say, they're ill, okay? They're in an illness, okay? But I don't have to gravitate to that. I don't have to take that on. I don't have to remain there, okay? So if you can develop compassion for it rather than the blame game, that hatred blame game, which just continues to fuel things, okay? If you can develop compassion, and this is why so many Buddhist paths have you start doing this compassion. I take in this and I blow out the compassion. It's trying to get you to connect with compassion, okay? If you can really connect with it and see that their dramas that have been fostered on you, give it back to them. Let them have their drama, their skewed beliefs, their illness, whatever it is that they want to run their quote-unquote reality around. And you see through it. And don't take it on anymore. And say that's a false belief system. Okay? If your parents always told you you're ugly, or they told you you're stupid, or they told you you're whatever it is, you were never wanted, whatever it doesn't matter what it is, what type of drama that they laid at your feet, you don't have to accept it. Say, I am not, look inside yourself, but you have to really look inside yourself and see, I'm not that. Okay? I'm not that. Okay? And that will break that cycle. One can step out into a transformation. And the transformation happens when you can really see it. Awareness, breaking through that shadow self, that shadow drama, the illusions that create this identification as a persona. One develops this identification because the body feels solid. So you say, whatever's happened to this body must be real. It must be who and what I am. But it's not. We are not this form. This form is simply a vehicle that we inhabit for experience in this plane. Okay? But we are not this. This falls away. When we transition out of the form, this falls away and we go on. We go on eternally into another plane, a more rarefied plane, and then we spend there a time, reevaluate stuff, and then we get pulled back into existence to continue on our journey. It's always a learning. It's always a learning, always an experiencing. Okay? So take the time to sit with yourself. Have compassion with yourself as well. Don't be so hard on yourself all the time. And also have compassion that if you have something that you can share, such as if you become a spiritual teacher and you go through dark night of the soul, you go through all of these things for lifetimes to become a teacher. You make a pact with the universe that whatever knowledge I get, I will give back. I will give that back to humanity. As much as I can give back, I want to give it back to humanity, okay? So do that, okay? If you're in a spiritual thing and you want to progress, understand you have maybe not always a lot of wisdom to get back at this point yet, but whatever you have, if you can share with somebody else something to aid and benefit them, then do it. Okay, then do it. Have that compassion. Give back where you can to aid others. Aid your brothers and sisters. Aid the others of the Spirit, okay? No matter how egregious they are, okay, eventually you come to a point where you can't hate. You can be upset, very angry with a situation, but you don't hate. You don't hate anybody. It's not possible. Okay? It's not possible, no matter how egregious they are. It's not possible. Like Christ said on the cross, Father, forgive them. They know not what they do. You don't hate. Even it doesn't, no matter how hateful people can be, you can't hate. You can't, because underneath all of their fallacy, drama, illusion, there is that God essence, okay? So you reach a point where it's not possible, okay? Not possible. So again, you have compassion because you understand you've come out of that point where the mind was spinning and you were caught in so many dramas. You understand what it is to be driven by those dramas, okay? You understand, and so you have compassion again for that. But it doesn't mean you enable people in that either, okay? So don't be an enabler. Have compassion. Spend the time. These things only break if you spend the time to actually stop, pull back out of the drama, trauma, and to be willing to look at it very deeply. And once you can actually see through it, this can break, okay? This can break, and you can move forward in a transformation to a new being, okay? And that's possible in every moment. Every moment is a new creation. So take this time to have compassion for yourself, compassion for humanity. Okay? Look at what it is that you are burdened with. Have the courage to sit there and really look at it deeply so that you can break through that illusion for a transformation. Okay. Namaste, great morning. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you've enjoyed this reading from the oracles. Okay. Namaste. Have a great day.